Bruv.
you're like one of my best mates.
False.
For me personally, I quite like you. I'm quite fond of you.
Yeah.
We've seen each other naked. We've been inside each other.
Yes.
But I will end your life if you don't use a coaster. I swear to God.
It's not even on there.
There's 3 coasters. You've got 2 drinks. The coasters outnumber the drinks.
First of all, everyone loved Mobius. And my guy didn't use the coaster either. Second of all, it ain't even open. It's just sat down. There's no like drink spill on the side and like fucking, give you stains. It's not even. You know what? I'm going to take your one back down to the fridge.
I fully understand now why people want to kill James. This is the kind of shit people want to kill James for.
How dare you? James is not only a perfectly sensible height, but also a god among men.
Perfectly acceptable height. Perfectly acceptable height. Give me my drink over here, boy. Please, I'm really thirsty.
Make sure you have a coaster, yeah?
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm going to put it on top of my existing coaster that I always use.
You double coaster, yeah? It's safer that way.
Exactly. Like condoms. You put 2, double the safety.
Think about it. All you're doing is just taking a known space where you're going to have drinks stains and putting it to a space that moves around your house.
Solid.
It's not...
Shit, I take everything
back. What's the point? Exactly. I'm a visionary, bruv.
What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, the show on the internet where we watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys. And hold up the FPN because it's dying. I'm one of your bros, Eddie.
I mean, you might describe us as the support beams, potentially pillars.
Exactly.
Of the FPN.
To be honest, what's a pillar without a support beam?
It's true.
Nothing.
Or strong foundations.
Exactly.
We're going to start the Foundations Network.
The Foundations Network. Everyone go subscribe over there. Leave this thing in the dust. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going amazing. I just checked out... Sorry to do the plugging straight away, but I just checked our Patreon as just a general thing because I was just looking. 52! I'm well happy about that.
I think it might even be... Was it last time? Maybe the week before. We was at like 45.
Yeah.
Drastically overnight, we just went, you know what? We're huge successes now. We're driving Lamborghinis.
7 people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Con 7 more people. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. All
Good
of you
fun.
guys. There's people in the 4 pillars that joined, new people that have followed us. It's all fantastic. We love you all so much for the support. Thank you so much. But bro.
Yes.
We're here to talk about some what if.
That's right.
Did you find, just off of the top, how did you find this episode?
I really hated this episode.
Hated it?
I did.
No way,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to ruffle a lot of jimmies with this.
Yeah, you're going to ruffle mine right now.
I was a Black Panther fan before it was cool.
Oh, before it was cool?
No, but like, for example, we did the last What If, and I was saying at the beginning I was a bit worried that she was going to be Union Jack.
Yeah.
Like, I know some of these obscure heroes. I'm fans of some obscure heroes, right?
Yeah.
Black
You're
Panther.
a contrarian. You're like, I don't want to be...
Thor sounds a bit shit.
Nah, Iron Man...
Yeah, this one random, like, English plumber who got... Because that's, by the way, what Union Jack is just a plumber. Yeah, he's a plumber in some weird, like, old transit van, but he's also a super soldier. It's the weirdest thing.
Best origin story.
But, like, I like silly and weird little heroes, right?
So you're a Black Panther man before Black Panther was cool?
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved Black Panther in The Winter Soldier.
Right.
I thought that was perfect for it. I was a little bit upset about the Black Panther movie because it tried to be a movie that it wasn't, and it didn't really touch on Black Panther.
It was very much trying to be... Because it was not the first, but it was like one of the first black representation type movies.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is that if you try and lean too much into that, then you get away from making a good character.
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah.
I was hoping that there would be a Black Panther too, because I think Chadwick Boseman was an incredible Black Panther. He was perfectly right for T'Challa. Yeah. That's one of those ones you don't recast. Like, after Henry Cavill, we don't get another Superman. It's not gonna do well.
Who's gonna be the guy?
You don't.
So the last person we cast was literally Superman.
I mean, we did it with Joker as well. We had Heath Ledger. How good was that Joker?
True.
So I would argue that Joker, by the way, holds up that entire trilogy of Batman movies.
Yeah.
Just that one performance, right?
People are like, "Oh, the Dark Knight trilogy." Yeah. You mean the Dark Knight?
Yeah, you mean Heath Ledger as the Joker in the Dark Knight?
Yeah, that's what you mean.
And so my big beef with this show,
even though I do like No. I wasn't going to say that was really good, but I was gonna, what's thing go? Nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask. Even though I like that voice. Yeah. So yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I really did bad.
My issue with this is that, and I think they did it because they had this as almost like a little love letter to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Which I get, but what they did by doing that was they removed the soul from his T'Challa. And what I mean by that is that this T'Challa has not failed. He gets picked up by Yondu, and from that moment on, everything goes dreamscape. There's no failures, there's only successes. Chadwick Boseman only succeeds. T'Challa only succeeds to the point of they even say like he talks down Thanos from his plan, and Thanos is now one of the boys, and that is too far to the extreme of I keep calling him Chadwick Boseman, of T'Challa just winning everything. And what I thought was the best appearance of Black Panther, by the way, including in some of the comic stuff, was him in The Winter Soldier, because this is a T'Challa that's straying a little bit away from being a hero and catches himself and turns back to the light, right? That he's just concerned about getting the guy that killed his dad, right? And he's human, and he's not being the Wakandan prince and the Black Panther. He's being T'Challa who lost his father, right? And he's being a human being, and he's being flawed, and has all this power, and is so close to abusing it, but catches himself in the end and does the heroic thing, right? And this T'Challa just succeeds at everything. There's no moments of failure. That's what I think, by the way, made Chris Pratt's Starlord, Peter Quill, so good, is because he's constantly going through these failures and never giving up, and even though he's quirky and silly, coming through by the skin of his teeth, but coming through. It's kind of an underdog story. And this Charles the complete opposite, where he just wins at everything, but by doing that, I feel like we took the soul out of the character.
I get that feeling, yeah.
So I hated it for that reason. I actually liked Thanos in it, but I hated that they had Thanos in it. He's just as one of the boys.
It was such a stark contrast from what it was before, and I think that added to the comedy of what they were trying to go for.
Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of funny things in it. There was, I will say, my favourite line in the whole thing. Thanos stays back at the end to fight the two guys, and they're like, "Oh no, Thanos is angry or something." Not angry, mad, because he's the Mad Titan. I don't know why, but I loved that. I thought it was so good. There's some great lines in it. I just like the bit at the
end where it's like, what you're saying sounds like genocide. No.
Because it's random and really efficient. Like, don't get me, that's the thing is, individually, I loved a lot of things. If
Thanos totally didn't have any power, he'd totally be the guy in the bars, drunk at night, trying to explain his grand plan.
Tell you that one time.
I'm going to kill everyone, but it's random. No way.
It's not genocide. Because it's not picking anyone specifically. Like, so that did kind of bug me. Like, I felt like we lost a lot of investment in this T'Challa. But individually, a lot of things were done really well. Like, the acting's okay. I felt like it had much better pacing this episode because it was one small gig, and it wasn't anything. We were in places that we'd seen before, but not in story beats that we'd seen before. So if I didn't know Black Panther and I didn't know Black Panther from the movies and Chadwick Boseman stuff, I think I would have enjoyed it. The hero, still a bit too like perfect. And I know it's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way and say, we loved it and blah, 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 but...
Do you know what? I think maybe... So for me personally, I watched it and I enjoyed myself, right?
I enjoyed myself as well. There were just things I was like, nah, man, he's got to fail at something. I was like, oh, the plan's failed. Fine.
I think
cool. They've bitten off a bit too much than they could chew. Oh, no, it turned out the plan was supposed to fail. That was part of the plan. No!
Yeah. At least it would have been like a redemption or like quick-wittedness, like getting out of that situation.
Problem solving. Yeah.
I think this might be as well where your love for anime sort of plays into this, because when the fact that it's animated for me takes a little bit more of the seriousness out of it for me. So I'm just there to enjoy myself and not really to be critical that much of things. That might change as things go on, or maybe when our discussion goes on, I might start thinking about it a bit more, and that's what this is really all about. But when I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is like a different universe. It's very
Yeah.
short. It's just meant to all be condensed. Like, I did feel this was a bit rushed as well, but I think that is just down to the time of like,
Yeah.
you got
Time
26 minutes
constraints,
to
yeah.
fucking tell a alternate history story,
Right.
And I was just like, oh, it's cool characters that I kind of knew, and like, what happened if it goes this way?
Yeah.
So I did like it, but I do see what you mean when you say that.
I take your point though, because I think for you, you're like, oh, cool, I'm watching a cartoon.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, okay, I'm watching a story because I have watched so much. And like, I think of it like this. If you take, what's a good example of like a movie that's mostly CG? Like Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
right? It's live action. It's 99% is computer generated, right? And I'm looking at this the same way I'm looking at Doctor Strange, where I'm like, okay, it's most of this, you know, there's no real people here. I'm not looking at real people, but I'm looking at a story being told. And I take your point. It's 26 minutes. But for me, it bugs me because I love Black Panther so much. And I was so happy when I saw Chadwick Boseman play him, because I'm like, oh shit, not only have we got Black Panther, but we've got like a Black Panther, not a guy playing Black Panther.
Yeah.
Not like Black
This
Panther.
is the Black
plays him.
Panther.
We got Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like, I freaking love Black Panther. And we got the guy for it.
Yeah.
Right, which I'm, by the way, super happy that they're not trying to recast T'Challa. T'Challa should be like dead in that universe because Chadwick Boseman takes that character with him. No one gets to replay T'Challa now. We have to Miles Morales this stuff where we can't have a different Pete. You know, we need a different Spider-Man. Yeah.
One other thing as well. Maybe it's not as well just animated. It's the fact that it is a what if series where it's just, these are inconsequential. These are stories to be told. Hey, imagine, you know, for shits and giggles, what happened? And then after that, it's completely wiped clean.
Yes.
Like we don't care. Maybe that's also a part of it as well. That my brain's like, okay, don't take too much seriously because end of the day, this doesn't really affect the grand scheme of things.
But what if?
But I am enjoying myself while I'm there.
Yeah, but like, not to beat a dead horse because we
Go
will
on.
get into the show. I promise. Because it's animated, that doesn't really affect me. Like, were you thinking when you watched Into the Spider-Verse, oh, this is a cartoon?
Do you know what? No, I didn't think it was a cartoon, but I did have that feeling of, maybe this is wrong, that feeling of like inconsequentialness. Because
see, I don't get that with animated stuff.
when I saw Into the Spider-Verse, I was like, oh, what they're doing is they're doing like an alternate universe of another Spider-Man, and that sort of made me think, okay, so this is a separate story from the thing that I know already.
Even more suspension of disbelief.
Exactly.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's it. Maybe it isn't the animated thing. Maybe it's just that.
Interesting.
Even though that Into the Spider-Verse is totally in our thing.
It's one of the best Spider-Man movies. Yeah.
Best out there. I mean, obviously not Sam Raimi's
Of
Spider-Man.
course, it's not the Raimi trilogy.
It's not the Spider-Man
not
3.
dancing,
None of that stuff. But
The most memeable movies in history.
exactly. You know, I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. Fuck you, Ben. God damn it. Ben Modrox, by the way.
Yes. Oh, hey, I know this meme. Shut up.
Anyway.
Before we get too far into it, bro.
Yes.
There's a group of people that we need to say thank you to over on patreon.com/conversations that make this entire thing happen. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Kirill Tarivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction. I'm sorry, I tried to hold it in. The disappointing, like, every single time it's like Cumsock.
You would think these are our patrons, right? I hear these names minimum once every week. Actually, it's been 8 days, so it's...
True, it's 8 days, so we'll allow that this time.
It was totally reset.
You think it would be okay, but
you think
no.
I get used to these
Every
names
time.
every single time? It's like watching your kid do something you're like, I raised you better than this. I know I did.
Record Friction, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H. Barts 12, Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunling, the Filthy FIFA Fanatic Joe McCormack, My Juicy Lefner, the Super Sexy Producer Sean, and Kevin, the number one simp. Of Xbox. Thank you, boys, so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the streaming services going here at Streamcast. I forgot
It's
you was
still
gonna...
funny. It's still funny.
Great comedy never dies, guys, and this is what that is.
That's right.
Great comedy.
Obviously, people streaming in Streamcast, tuning in Streamcast, care more about internal decorating stuff. Interior decorating, we don't have too much to update you on. I'm really sorry.
Unfortunately,
It was
so yeah.
the favorite part of the show, but No updates.
Really sorry about that, guys.
So
Well,
unfortunately, we're just gonna have to get into it.
next week we'll install something great in here, like
Yeah.
I don't know, some sort of wall unit, and then we could be like, ah,
We should just properly, like, on purpose, hang a crooked picture.
and be like,
It's fine. You know, give people stuff to talk about, innit?
they'd be like, I can't believe. That'd be all the comments. You'd be like, I don't even give a fuck about the show anymore. What is that crooked picture doing in the background? Anyway, guys and girls, what
Girl.
if girl? Yeah,
The
that's what I
one.
mean,
Yeah.
what if T'Challa became Starlord? Maybe
Yes.
said like that. Shout out to the intro again. Looks freaking cool every
It's
single
really
time I
good.
see it. I really like that stuff. Starts with the introduction of Starlord, the way we did it
Yeah.
in Guardians of the Galaxy, walking on Morag.
The place.
That place.
Mhm.
That place right
Yeah.
there.
And obviously,
Um,
Peter Quill's going to get the orb.
Exactly.
Starlord. It's Peter Quill. Yeah.
He's pull out his machine, and you're like, oh, cool, what's going on?
He's hacking the system and
Yeah,
tapping into the
magnetic
main frame of the
thingamabob.
magnetic field and whatever.
Pulls it towards him, and then right behind him, Korath the Pursuer.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Oh, because I only know. By the way, is it Jimon Hanso that voices him?
I think so, because his voice
It
is
sounds
so
really.
unique.
I'm gonna.
I love that guy because he plays the right hand man to everybody, and he's in everything.
And he's also the expendable guy in it. He's
All the
always
time,
he's
yeah.
always getting killed. He's always getting killed
because
and
he's awesome.
I think he should be a big bad somewhere because
Yeah,
he deserves it.
Yeah, and he sees Star-Lord for the first time, and he comes out of the shadows and like, it's like, who are you? What are you doing here? And he's like, well, I'm here for the orb.
It is him.
Is him?
Yes, I was like, I'm sure that's him. Yeah.
Good. He's like, I'm here for the orb. It's like, who are you? What's your name? And it's like, my name's T'Challa, but
You might
some
know me
people know
as-
me as. And he comes out of the shadows, and he's starstruck.
Oh my god, it's Starlord.
Oh my god, it's Star-Lord. Oh my god. So, well, this wasn't
See-
the reaction I was
see-
expecting.
See, this is why I hated to say that I didn't like this thing, mainly because of the T'Challa version just never failing.
Yeah.
But individually, I loved everything about this scene. I loved Jimon Hanso's total retelling of this character. I actually enjoyed a lot of the stuff with Thanos and the Ravagers. I enjoyed everything individually, but just put it together, it's so good.
It was, right? Anyway, so he has a conversation with him first of
Yeah.
all, but he's like, "Look, I've kind of got a really big bad boss, and he really won't let me leave you here to go with the
Yeah.
orb, so I'm gonna have to take you in." He's like, "It's not really gonna go that way."
Yeah.
Beats everybody up in the room.
I love this fight. He was like,
And
okay, well,
knocks him
let's
the hell
fight
out.
about it. And he's like, well, I feel like, should I use the gun? He's like, yeah, you can use the gun. It's like, no, but it doesn't feel like, no, like, you have the gun. It's cool. Use the gun. It's fine. And I'm ready. You ready? Okay, I'm going to go. Does the thing, like, dodge out the way. He's like, oh, he got rid of the gun. He's like, okay, well, now we'll try fighting. He's like, do it like this. Boom, punches him. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I told him, he said, no, that's what we're here for.
It was such a cool fight. It was like
It's
completely
so good.
starstruck.
It's so good.
It's like going up against Rocky Balboa and then like punching him in the face. Oh my god!
Oh my
Mr.
God,
Rocky
I just
Ooh.
punched Rocky Balboa.
Oh
no.
shit!
You're like my lifelong hero.
Okay. Yeah, and eventually he knocks him
Yeah.
out, but he takes him along with him because he's like, oh, he's a good.
It's a
fan.
good dude,
He's a
isn't
good
it?
dude,
Yeah.
And outside, a ton of those faceless, maskless
Yeah.
thing goon people.
They had a name and I've totally forgot it.
I don't know
It's like
their names.
Necro Soldiers or something like
Yeah,
that. Something crap.
Did you know actually James Gunn played one of those people in
Did he?
Guardians of the Galaxy?
I didn't know that.
Did
Did you know
go?
that James Bond played a stormtrooper in?
What?
I hate that.
In the Force Awakens?
That
What?
always pops up, and you can never unhear it either.
No, it's too much. The way he says his S's, even with that stormtrooper voiceover thing, it's
Yeah.
like I can hear your S's, bro. Anyway, yeah. So guys, there's a ton of them there, and they're all like, "Stop!" And it's like, look, the one big mistake that you've made is that Ravagers never fly solo.
I said, Ravagers never fly solo. I gotta say, they've got the Guardians of the Galaxy memeology, right? Because the dude's like, is that like a catchphrase?
Is that
or
I don't know
like-
what's going on. The guy looks back,
It's like, is it a catchphrase? I don't
and
get
after a moment,
yeah. Yeah.
and then just the dart that Yondu has just flying around, just murking them all.
Again, the Yondu in
And
this,
finally,
brilliant. So well done. They captured the relationship of Yondu and Starlord, let's say,
yes.
really well. And mainly it's advanced to like the Yondu that we got in Guardians 2,
Yeah.
because he's more of the father figure here. I loved Yondu.
It was great. It was great. I liked it
I
a
love
lot.
their relationship. That's the thing as well. Like, I love their relationship. I didn't have a problem with... I want to be really clear. I did not have a problem with the T'Challa. I had a
Yeah.
problem with the character progression, which was there was none for
Yeah,
T'Challa.
It was just great all the way through. That was it. He's
he
perfect.
just succeeded all the time.
Everything. Yeah. So yeah, Yondu's back, and they have a conversation about. So like, you got the orb. It's like, yeah, I got the orb. It's like,
Yeah.
so what are we gonna do with this? We can literally do anything we want and whatnot. And then they
But
talk
what's
about.
greater than saving a dying solar system?
That's the thing. They talk about saving the planet with it, saving universes and galaxies with this. They're
Right.
like,
And
okay.
then Yondu's like, yeah, you're right, T'Challa, you made me change my ways.
Don't worry about it, you know.
Lifelong intergalactic villain, but the father-son relationship with this little child.
There you go. That's the more important
Yeah.
thing right here.
I think, doesn't it? It flashes back then.
We
right?
cut to
Yeah.
Wakanda, where T'Challa's a child, and he's looking out and he's talking to his father about wanting to explore and things like that.
Yeah.
But his father's telling him like how he's got purpose, how he's a prince, he's meant to take over the Wakandan country.
Nation.
Nation, I would say.
It's a really sweet line, actually. His father says, look, even though the blood of kings runs through your veins, it's pumped by the heart of an explorer.
Yes.
And something I think I just love father-child stories. And the idea
Because
that...
the relationship with your father.
Probably. Who knows? I don't fucking know. I don't know about
Well,
that. No,
I
it's
am
true.
your father.
Dun, dun, dun. Tune in next time. I just think there's something about that dynamic that's really good for storytelling. And the fact that his dad gets him so much.
Yeah.
But the thing that he's saying is like, look, I love you. I understand who you are. But unfortunately, you've been born into these responsibilities, you know?
People can't be let down, innit?
And T'Challa's 10?
10 years or something like that.
Yeah, how old is Starlord when he goes? Like 10 or 8 or something like
something
that.
like
He's
that.
young.
Yeah.
So he wants to go exploring, man.
Yeah.
It's also, are we saying he's Black Panther here? Because the way he
The
throws
father-
this freaking spear as a kid, T'Challa's 10 or 12 years old, and he throws a spear like an
The way-
Olympic athlete.
The way that they did it in the movie, anyway, is that he has to inhale some like flowers and stuff, crushed
Right.
flowers, and that's only when he's old enough
Yeah.
to actually take the mantle. So he's not super before.
But the way he's hucking this spear a freaking football field away.
You know, it's just the royal blood in him. It's,
That
it's the
could
way
be
it
it.
is.
That could be
It's
it.
the way it is, mate. Anyway, maybe a little bit transferred in the semen. You know, maybe that's something like that.
Wait, no shit.
Go on.
It is Chadwick Boseman voicing T'Challa. I
Did you-
thought I was like, whoever they got for him is incredible at doing a Chadwick Boseman as his
Is
accent
it
for Black Panther.
really? What website is that? IMDb.
Yeah, this is IMDb. It's saying Chadwick
Yeah, they
Boseman.
would-
Everybody else,
They'd
of
probably
course.
be very careful if they did. Hold on a sec. Who does Drax?
I don't think Drax was him. to
That's
be
the thing. It
honest.
wasn't him for sure. I know that one. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, him. Fred Tatasciore. Anyway, who cares? We'll come back. Sorry, we got
Because I was
distracted.
super impressed with how close
Yeah.
T'Challa sounded
So he
to.
must have
I was
done it
like,
before he
this is a
passed.
really good. Yeah, probably.
That's mad. That's mad. Didn't know that. Didn't know
Yeah,
that.
because I knew it was Michael Rooker playing Yondu.
Yeah, a lot of the people did come back
Yeah.
to do their voices. Let us know if you knew that as well. Josh Brolin did Thanos as well. Anyway, so
And they had Kurt Russell come back as Ego. This is sick. I didn't know that.
for that one line,
Yeah.
spoilers. We don't
And it
have
was
to-
Benicio del Toro as the Collector. He plays the Collector in thing. See, a lot of these voices, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so
Let's
sorry.
get back into this, okay? All right, so T'Challa then goes outside and he's throwing the spear in the field, throwing it further and then running up to it, throwing it even
Yeah.
further until one point it goes out of the Wakanda hologram
Yeah.
force field. He's like, oh shit, I better go get it. Runs all the way out there, and it just happened to be at that moment, Yondu's ship comes down
Yeah.
and grabs T'Challa. It would have been gone somewhere else because it was just told to come to Earth to
Yeah.
find a powerful being or something like that who's got an energy reading that's off the charts, and except they went to Wakanda and they
So-
found this boy. It turns out that apparently Yondu outsourced
The
his...
what if Yondu didn't go himself, but gave it to
The Ravagers.
The Ravagers, like, what is that guy's name? But the comedic relief guy, who he kills me in that one scene with the not the collector, but the broker, where he's saying like, I want those little crystal bobbleheads. I like to line them up, and think he's totally serious. And as he's speaking, he's like breaking they kept that one scene where he couldn't keep his shit. It's that guy. What happens if you give that guy the mission?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey man,
he's an idiot.
Yeah. And I think the summary is, we went to the place looking for the thing, but there was a big reading, and I thought you said this kid was special, so we went there, but it was nothing.
It was a massive energy reading there, and this kid was there, so it must have been the kid you were
looking for. And all these human kids look alike. How am I supposed to... Does he look anything like P. Quill's face? He's a human kid. They all look the same.
He's got 2 eye holes, 2 ear holes, 1 air hole. It's exactly the same.
They all look the same.
He pulls out a reader and says, does he look anything like him? So
they all look the same to me.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, so that's enough for Yondu, and he takes the boy. We then cut back to present day, where the lads are drinking Ravager. They're all in like a space bar, having fun, and Thanos is there.
What?
Just regular Thanos, no golden armor or anything like that. And T'Challa apparently talked him out of genocide, like we said before.
Yeah, he says there's nothing that can really beat the power of a good argument. Again, and that's one of the things that really killed it for me. And I'm like, some people just can't be talked out of it.
I was going to say, in the movies, when genocide didn't work, he just went to even more genocide. Yeah, he said, wipe the universe and start again.
Also, this is a guy who was like, I think this plan has legs. I'm going to look for the Infinity Stones to do it quick. But while I'm waiting, I'll just do it the slow way. Invade planet, murder half the people. This is not really Mr. like talking down.
Think about how much fuel you would use on that trip,
mate. The
too
bill
much.
alone,
all right,
the commute to work. Just this one galaxy, awful.
Think about the greenhouse gases,
right?
And then he's just like, do you know what? That's a good point.
That's a good point. If anything, and he is a conservationist, isn't it?
He is.
So
that's his whole idea.
He's like, damn, I didn't think about it that way. All right, T'Challa. Well, do you have anything you want to do?
I mean, can I tag along?
Yeah, my schedule for the next 100 years just cleared up. I got nothing until Thursday, bruv.
I got a massage booked in, but that's about.
That's it. That's it. I was gonna kidnap these children and abuse them into being my children. Yeah. But other than that, I got nothing now.
It's all blessed now.
That's now. It. Also, Jimon Hanso's got... What is his name?
What was it? Korath the Pursuer.
Korath.
He's there as well.
Joining the Ravagers.
The way he talks as well, it's like, I'm friends with the Starlord. And it's like, yeah, cool, bro, cool. And everything.
There's at the end where they're in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, if you need to put the label on it, I'd say best friends. But we don't use labels.
Yeah, come on. So good.
Oh my god,
it was such a good idea. I want to shake the hand of the guy who came up with the idea. Like,
whoever did the script for this is
going to be his biggest fan. Yeah. Yeah, and Drax is there. He's the bartender. Yes. Again, I didn't like the voice. It was not Drax.
It definitely, that was one of the things as well. Where you're like, everyone sounds right except Drax. Yeah. Something's not right about Drax.
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Apparently, they didn't even ask him to come back for it, which is so weird.
What?
Especially when they're getting everyone else. Like, why did they go, Drax? No, thanks. We're not going to get.
I mean, I gotta be honest. If it was that he was just so busy, like maybe he's on some other shoot or something, I still feel that they could talk with the production team, like, we need to get some ADR for this guy. Can you?
Especially for like 2 lines. It wasn't even that long.
It's not even that, is it? I bet it's a full sentence told, all told.
But apparently they didn't even ask him. I saw on Twitter, it's like someone goes, how come you're not voicing the thing? He goes, how about we start with, I wasn't even asked. Don't know what Marvel was up with that.
That's
so strange. And
that's rough, because that was one of the lowest points in the whole movie.
It really was.
Was
such
Drax
a great
didn't
character.
sound right.
Like, anyway, and then Nebula turns up, and she's got blonde hair.
Do you know what?
Flowy dress. Looking fine.
She is looking good.
Fire.
I kind of dig the bald Nebula.
Oh, really?
I do. And it turns out here's the thing for me. Who knew that?
Is it? What's her name?
It is Karen Gillian.
Karen Gillian. Do you prefer bald Karen Gillian as well, or the redhead?
I don't know. Let me Google bald.
Because she did shave her head for her role.
I will let you know in just a minute.
I don't know if she shaved it bald, but she might have done it really short.
Holy shit, she did.
Oh, right. That's
I
pretty
prefer
bold.
the red.
Google that, guys. Yeah, the red hair is something.
I prefer the red. I'm all for. I don't really care about hair colors. I prefer her with hair. I prefer Nebula without. Just saying. Also, I didn't see Nebula as blonde. How weird is that?
Yeah, I didn't see her as blonde.
Do you know what she would look good with? A big old afro. Like a blue afro.
Of course, everything is better with an afro.
Exactly. And in blue alien skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebula was there too, and she calls him Cha-Cha.
She does, which was really funny to me.
I was like, he's
Also,
like
you're
a
like-
super
you-
awesome,
like-
powerful guy.
Huh? T'Challa clapping them cheeks.
he definitely be
For sure,
pumping them guts.
T'Challa has made his way through the galaxy.
He
has galactic STDs. For sure. For sure.
GSTD.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got an STD. No, step above that.
I need space antibiotics, bruv.
You got GSTDs.
I
What?
say what? T'Challa goes big or he goes home, and T'Challa did not go home.
He's like, well, I'm here, so I guess I'm not going home.
They have antibiotics in space, right? Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they
Yeah.
accept stuff like that. You just need to eat this giant bug, and then we're cool. She offers him a job. It's like, I've got a
Yeah.
job, I've got to do this with this. And we're like, would you like to take it on? Turns out he wants to be part of this job. He wants to help out Nebula because it's actually going to help her.
Yeah. They go.
It's looking for this thing called the Embers of Genesis.
Yes.
It's apparently with the Collector, they're saying, so we need to go find that. He's saying this is like a terrible idea because the Collector's...
A badass, apparently.
apparently, now that Thanos went legit, they actually say went legit.
Yeah.
I'm like, Thanos goes... Because Thanos went legit, there was a power vacuum, and
He
the
steps into it,
Collector
yeah.
steps into it.
Yeah. And he stepped into a boatload of Tren as well because the guy's yoked now.
Yeah, the guy's pumping some shit.
Right.
'Cause he went from the Collector we've seen in the movies
Yeah.
to, I need to look like Thanos as well. Oh, I see,
Yeah.
no problem.
That guy, if he didn't collect everything in the world and didn't have a bidet, he would have trouble washing himself. I'm just telling you, the
Exactly.
muscle on this guy.
We're jealous, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yandu is saying that no, this is suicide, it can't be done, and they break down a plan of how they're gonna get to the nowhere base and essentially get to the Collector right there. T'Challa goes into the Collector's main room, and it's got all of the boxes there with all of the various things that the Collector's collecting.
Also, apparently Thanos' guys were mercenaries because they're now working here.
They're working for the Collector.
Did they
It's
call
almost
them
like-
something? The Black Guard or something like that? I can't remember, but like it's all the faces you know. That one big dude with the hammer.
Big dude with the hammer, the one that does the telekinesis
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
that was gonna push glass into Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He likes glass a lot because he
He's
uses it
big
again
on
in
glass. Yeah.
this. Guys, I reckon he's rubbing it on himself to... we'll just go past that right there. T'Challa breaks a duck out and uses him as a guide because he needs to find these embers and he doesn't know where it is. He needs someone who's there.
I forget his name, but he's actually a pretty famous character.
Yeah,
and it's bugging me that I can't remember his name.
I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy came out and people saw it in the background. They're like, Easter egg that you missed. This super important character.
I didn't
I'm
miss
like,
it.
I don't know.
I didn't miss it. I was like, oh shit, I know that guy, but know his name, and I can't remember anything about him. Like, I know that. Why do I know that?
Listen, the list of ducks goes like this. Donald Duck.
It's true, and you like Donald because he's big in Kingdom Hearts, right?
Fuck Kingdom Hearts. Guys, let's move on to the next bit. T'Challa breaks him out, and while looking around,
Yeah. The
He
Ravagers
goes
cause
past-
a distraction, don't they? Is this right? I feel like the Ravagers cause a distraction.
possibly,
Yeah, so I have it here
Go
that
on.
we're told about the terraforming crystals of the embers of whatever.
mm-hmm.
They go in. The Ravagers cause a distraction outside
they
to
do.
pull like the big bad figures who I was gonna say named. I don't even know if they have names, but like you know who they are from Infinity War and Endgame. They go out to deal with the and they don't know who Thanos is apparently.
Yeah.
He goes in, but then it turns out like they capture the Ravagers and realize that it's a plan, like there's a heist plan, and that's why they capture T'Challa.
I think the Collector notices him and then captures
Oh
him.
yeah. So okay, I got it. So the Ravagers cause a distraction, right?
Yeah.
T'Challa and the Duck make their way in. Somebody realizes, oh, the Ravagers, this is a distraction. They sound the alarm and the doors start closing. T'Challa runs through a door and ends up in like the spaceship collection room.
Yes.
And that's where he finds the Wakandan ship.
He walks past the Wakandan ship and his necklace starts to glow. And he's
Yeah.
like, the hell is this? And he goes inside and he sees what looks like the Wakandan army, those ladies.
The Dora Milaje.
The Dora Milaje, that's
who
it.
have jurisdiction wherever they find themselves to be.
Wherever they find themselves to be.
That's right.
Are there, but they're like drones essentially. They're like robots.
They're dolls.
Yeah.
They're like mannequins to like in a, well, it's a museum, isn't it? It's a museum exhibit of like, this is what they would look like. So it's mannequins.
See, I thought it was like a robot that had been turned off or something like
okay.
that. But I that makes more sense.
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
more sense because he's a collector.
Yeah. It's probably got a bunch of Dora Milaje there, or like a Dora Milaje.
That's the correct
Yeah.
terminology. The Dora Milaje is when there's plenty of
Yeah.
them. A Dora Milaje.
That's it.
Done. I like it.
He obviously doesn't know they have jurisdiction, so you can't unfortunately
Exactly.
collect one.
Well, does she have jurisdiction within the box that she's kept in?
Shit, that's the point. If he puts her in a box and shown his jurisdiction there, that's where she is.
If he tries to step in, what?
Yeah, whoa!
Pull off one of my neck rings. Huh?
So dumb.
We are so dumb.
We're so stupid.
Oh, I hope everyone's laughing at this and they're like, God, these
They're
guys have
laughing
lost the
at
plot.
us. They're laughing at us, not the jokes.
And yeah, he sees a hologram message, and it plays, and it's of a man that says, is basically
Is his dad.
talking to T'Challa, and says like, "Oh, my son that's been taken away, has been lost for this many years. I will never give up on you." And he realizes that, oh God, this is my family. This is my father. This is where I came from.
We did miss one thing. Back at like the first party where like Korath is introduced to the Ravagers, I think someone asks like, why did you never go home? And he says, oh, Yondu went back and Wakanda was destroyed in just another pointless war, right? Always war. And then now he sees this and he's like, okay, not only was Wakanda not destroyed, but I mean, he instantly recognizes his dad. I think he calls him Baba, right?
Yes.
He's like, he instantly knows when he's, and the guy's like, okay, we're Wakanda, we're looking for my son who was taken, and T'Challa, if you're seeing this message, like, I love you, I'm coming for you, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, Yondu lied.
Yes.
And then Nebula's like, sorry, Cha-Cha, it's a double cross. I had the debt with the collector, and the price was you.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn it, Nebula, you're so like
Again.
untrustworthy. This guy managed to convert Thanos, but not you. Oh, man.
No, you're clearly way more powerful than Thanos and Will. Oh,
right,
God,
right,
damn
exactly,
it.
right.
And they lock him away in one of the boxes, and the collector's
Yeah.
now got a fine collection of a random human.
Right.
And they're like, he's like, I'm just a human. I don't know
I'm
what
just
you're
a
doing."
regular dude.
I'm like, don't you have
Oh,
any?
yeah, he doesn't have any super. He definitely doesn't have the stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. He goes, Are you sure? Have you got any superpowers? Like, do you shoot like lasers from your eyes or anything like that?
That doesn't happen in this universe. Stop being
Yeah,
stupid.
not in this universe. Come on now. He's like, no. And then the
I'm
guy,
just a dude.
I'm just a guy. And he goes, oh, fine, just dissect him and take him, use him for parts and whatnot.
For parts.
It's like it's just interchangeable. You take that off.
It's not an Audi.
And then he says something to him. He says like, history doesn't favor the people who hold
Who put men
others
in cages or
in
something
cages.
like that.
Yeah. And it's sort of like this one line. It's like, better watch out because
Yeah.
it's saying over.
I do like the collector's like, oh no, I'm sorry, the power of a good argument. Oh, what are you gonna do? You're in a box. He's a villain.
Yeah,
Worse
he's
than Thanos, apparently.
He's a bad guy. He's literally filled his shoes. And then what happened?
So the Ravagers are all like talking in their like prison cell.
Yes.
And then the door, psht, and it's Nebula, and they're like, "Oh, Nebula, we're gonna kill you." And she's like, "No, it's a triple cross."
This is all part of the plan. No, it wasn't. It's not her that
Yeah.
says triple cross. She goes, "This is all part of the plan." It's like, sorry, we kept you in the dark. It was T'Challa's idea.
Yeah, I told him everything from the begining.
And then,
Oh, yeah.
Korath is like, "It's a triple cross." Of course, I should have known all along. The Starlord.
Classic Starlord.
Classic Starlord. I went, oh god, this guy's so good.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Then they go on. He's telling them about the plan, and
So they go to take the embers of infinity. Or whatever the fuck.
exactly.
And how does he get out of the cage? Yondu comes to be familiar. Oh, he goes, "Oh, the one thing you always you forgot: a Ravager never flies alone."
Oh, but this time,
Yeah, and it's
sorry if I
Yondu.
blew into the microphone right there. and Yondu's here this time.
To beef out the collector, yeah.
And he's beefing out the collector. A couple of hits, except the collector just eventually just
Tanks
grabs
it. Oh,
Snap.
there is a couple of things we did forget when he has a little fight with T'Challa, and
T'Challa breaks out with his vibranium necklace.
Yes.
Pulls out his necklace, almost like
a knuckle
Wolverine
duster.
style.
Yeah.
Bang, smashes in there. The telekinesis guy grabs him with the glass as well, and he's like, the pink chick
Yeah.
shoots that guy in the background, telekinesis guy in the background. People are loving the names that we give to these people as well.
Yeah.
And she's like, says the line as well, like, history doesn't favor the people who are holding cages.
Yeah, I liked what you had to say. Yeah.
About the cage thing and whatnot. And
then they fight the dude, the collector, who
tag
he
team
starts
in the
off
collector,
with,
which is a bad way to say that.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be fan art of that. He starts off with like a stone knuckle duster, and he's like, "Oh, I took this off a really talkative, I forget the species," and we're like, "Oh shit, that's freaking Korg. That's Korg's arm."
It's Korg's arm.
And then he's beefing them,
Poor Korg,
and pulls out an array of weapons.
There's
nothing special there, I don't
exactly,
think. Nothing. Yeah, nothing really good.
There's some shield of some sort. With
Yeah,
like
I mean, what
what
uses a freaking shield anyway? Ridiculous.
hammer
In
on
space, they
there.
got laser guns. Shield's useless.
Exactly.
You got a hammer, like it's his DIY store. There's he pulls out like a pointy hat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Pointy hat, kind of looks like a beetle type thing. It's
Yeah,
like
it's-
that spiderish stuff.
Yeah, great, you're a Heracross, bro. What is this, your cosplay?
Ooh,
Oh, I'm cosplaying
like
as
that.
Heracross.
And I didn't know it was the hat that made those things that Hela gave.
It's not.
It's not. Okay,
It's
well, that's
not.
good.
I'm pretty certain it's not, but
He puts the hat on and then suddenly he can pull those spears out that
Yeah.
Hela did. And I was like,
pretty sure,
is that how that worked?
just like Mjolnir, it's just a thing to focus stuff, and I don't even
like a
think her
conduit.
helmet. I don't even think her helmet's the thing for her. I don't think she needed it
Yeah.
because I think she at one point used Mjolnir.
It's... She did she broke it straight away, didn't she?
I think in the in one of those wall murals, she's using
she
it.
did.
Yeah.
So that was the thing as well. Like in the movie, there was a really cool point detail that people picked out that her hat thing, her helmet thing,
it grows
grew
and
bigger
stuff,
as
yeah.
she got more powerful.
Yeah.
Indicating that maybe there was something there, but she at the beginning she was pulling shit out and there was no fucking.
She was strong enough to break Mjolnir without even touching it.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, he starts throwing these things at him.
they beef.
Eventually, one gets him.
Yeah. Through the shoulder.
But obviously, this is where Yondu comes in.
Yeah.
And, he starts helping out, distracting, and they come up with a little plan. They're like, "I've got an idea. Sticky fingers."
Right, but who's the glue? You, because you freaking lied to me.
Fair.
Only
That's-
he
that's
didn't
fair.
say frickin'.
Exactly.
They don't swear in this.
No, they don't. This
I'm
is
glad
Disney,
they
come
don't
on
as
now.
well.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's fair. I did do that. I did
Yeah.
do that." And he goes up to him and essentially distracts him. He's beating the crap out of Yondu the way he's punching him.
There is one other thing here I want to mention on Yondu, which is there is a line, I forget where it goes in this fight. I think it's right at the beginning when he arrives and arrows the collector. But he says, like, keep your hands off my boy, no one touches my boy. Something like that. And it's very much the this is my kid thing that we got from Guardians 2. Yondu's great, man. And
He's great.
his relationship with Starlord is great. We love to see it.
Love it. Love it.
Anyway, unfortunately, the collector pulls out I think it's a 9 iron, one of the most powerful weapons on Earth, and takes out Yondu.
Takes out Yondu, smacks him halfway across the room.
Yeah.
And T'Challa gets ready with his boot, rocket thing.
Yes,
He's about to go
yeah.
flying. And the collector's not phased. Just 1 second. Let me pull out a...
Oh, no.
And look back, Yondu's got the wrist thing. So, oh my god, I'm defenseless now. And he turns on his ankle rocket, knees him in the face, beautiful style.
It was a great knee in the face.
Straight into one of the collector's boxes, locks the door, and he's locked in.
Luckily, history looks perfectly favourably on people that they don't like in cages.
People that were locked in cages, locking other people in cages, which is basically the people in the beginning who are locking people in cages.
Yes. History loves those guys.
Loves those guys.
Those guys we like.
But the thing is that when I saw this first time, he didn't seem phased at all. He was like, I think I'll be stuck in here. You think I'm going to be in here for much longer? Don't worry about it. I'll be out in 2 seconds. And I thought it would be like he's gonna smash his way out.
I mean,
because he's so yoked.
It's kind of like, imagine being a locksmith and getting locked into your own home.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know how locks work. Like, imagine being a freaking jailer. I guess he's a jailer, right? In a weird way.
I guess so, yeah.
Right? You obviously are going to be like, yeah, the jails work, but I'm going to make the technology so it doesn't work on me. Sick.
That's what you think, right?
I'm going to custom order jails that won't keep me in.
He
right?
seemed like he was completely fine, but then they didn't. They just were about to walk away. They give the wrist thing over to the purple girl, Karina, and then he gets really scared. He's like, Karina,
no touching,
no touching. Get me out! No. And then she goes,
okay, and lets him out.
Lets out everyone else. Yeah. And then lets him out, and that's where he gets really scared. Everyone just attacks him. Ah!
Yeah. Simultaneously, by the way, while this is happening, outside,
yes,
the Ravagers are escaping, and I think they're called the Blackguard.
Something like that. Let's say they are.
Yeah. They're like beefing them out, and they're having to run away, and it's not going too well. Yeah. And
Thanos decides to stay.
Yeah, Thanos says to like stay and hold them back, so like Nebula and that lot can get away. And he starts fighting them, and someone says, "I got it here." Oh no, he's going crazy! And Thanos says, "No, crazy, mad." Because he's not Vin. Dominic Toretto?
Sorry about
family. He's the Mad Titan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although apparently right now he's not a Titan anymore. He goes from being one of the baddest dudes in the galaxy, to like, oh, these random mercenaries can just take him out.
Yeah.
What?
He could take on one of them by himself.
Yeah.
So at least hold his ground. But then afterwards,
when those two with the spears.
When there's two, one's like slashing at his knees, then the other one's banging with the hammer, he gets knocked down to the ground really fast. And then Nebula sees, oh no.
Yeah.
I've got to go back and help. Goes and runs back, shoots a couple of them to like distract them, and lets out a few of the embers of Genesis. No idea what this fucking thing does, except it seems to grow trees out of nowhere.
They told us that in the very beginning. Yeah. When she's talking about what it is, she says...
It rebuilds...
Yeah, she says it can terraform a whole planet in like a week.
Okay, all right. If that's the way you terraform a planet by building a massive vine.
If you take a dead rock and turn it into all forests and stuff, then it's terraformed, isn't it?
I guess so.
I feel like that works.
I feel like it's more than that, but all right. We'll say it is. And then they're like, "Oh shit, we need to outrun this giant vine that we've decided to make." And they're running away, and then they manage to use one of the vines to quickly jump and land into their ship. What's the ship called again? I've forgotten the name of the ship you said.
Oh, you mean Peter Quill's ship? The one that's... Oh, my days. Why do this to me where I'm looking for something else? Oh, no.
It's a very... Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That is so angry. That's making me so angry.
The name is right there. Go on, look for it.
I'm looking for it.
Look for it. People are yelling at us in the chat right now.
The Milano.
Although
I thought the Milano was in the collector's collection.
Was it?
I thought I saw it there. So I thought I saw that. I thought I saw one of the my days. I can't remember anyone from this. What's that planet that they say from Ronin with the guard, and all the ships link at the end. And there's like... Oh,
yes.
How do we not know this stuff?
Our memories are so bad.
Fake fans.
We're fake MC fans. Really DC fans.
They're called something... The something guard, though. Those dudes.
Yes.
The Nova Corps.
Nova Corps!
Yeah, mate. First try. Not even a hitch.
Mate, not even a thing.
There's a Nova Corps ship there. I thought the Milano... Nothing but a chicken wing. I thought I saw the Milano there. I saw one of them... Nova Corps ships.
All I really saw was the Nova Corps ship I did see. And then the Wakandan ship. I didn't see the Milano.
I don't know.
Maybe it was. Anyway, they get into a ship.
A ship.
Possibly Milano, possibly not.
Cannot confirm or deny. Yeah.
Cannot confirm or deny.
They do, but there's like... It's all Jack and the Beanstalk at the minute.
Exactly.
Is that the right thing, Jack and the Beanstalk?
Yeah.
Giant Beanstalk.
And they haven't got T'Challa or Yondu.
Yeah.
They're like, don't worry about it. We've got a ride.
No. They come out, and Yondu says, "We're never getting through this on foot." And T'Challa says, "Then we'll take to the skies." And that...
And they jet out in one of the Wakandan ships that they found. And...
They have the dog.
They have the dog, the CCP dog.
There's the dog that can...
CCP dog.
The dog that can... That's wearing a helmet, but can still lick one of them in the face with the helmet on. It's a very impressive dog.
Very impressive dog. Very impressive dog. And they have a little final heart-to-heart moment.
By the way, I googled terraforming.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, look, if it's got plants on there, then it's terraformed. No, it's not just making a garden. There is a bit more to it. There's a little bit more to it.
Listen, we saw terraforming in Man of Steel. Were they planting a garden?
It's true. It's true. They were trying to...
Change the gravitational...
Yeah, they were doing something to the Earth's core.
For some reason, they really like gravity. Anyway... they have a final heart-to-heart.
They do.
They're like, so, like, why did you like me this whole time? Why did
Oh
you do this
man,
thing?
I really
What am I
like
supposed to
this.
do? Oh yeah, it was so touching.
I love the T'Challa where he was being human in this. You know, like the stuff in between where he never fails at anything. That wasn't really Black Panther to me. But this, where he's talking to Yondu, and he's like, you know, after everything I learned, I don't know where I belong. And Yondu's like, after traveling as much of the galaxy or universe as I have and seeing all these people, there's one thing that I know, which is you belong anywhere you want to be. So where do you want to be?
Yeah.
And then he puts up a hologram of Earth, and then they go back to Earth, and it was sick.
They go back to Earth. They go back to Wakanda, and they walk into the royal chambers, and he sees his dad.
Oh, I love this as well.
Baba.
I loved this. By the way, I checked the cast. It's the same actor that plays his dad, and it's brilliant.
Good.
And he says, "Oh, you know, Dad, you know." I think he says, "Baba, I'm back. Let me introduce you to the family I made along the way." Mate, it killed me. I love that so much.
What would you say? Here's my family. No, this is your
my
family.
friends. Yeah.
This is my other family I made along the way. It's such a great way of
It's
saying
so
it.
good. It's so perfect.
Such a great way of saying it.
This final scene was perfect to me.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't have minded if it was 26 minutes of like him trying to awkwardly introduce everyone. I would have loved that. Then we kind of cut to like everybody's having not quite a party, but like
It's like hey, we're all
meet
here
and
together,
greet with friends
gather-
and food and stuff. Yeah.
Going through Thanos' one, it's like, well,
You know, my friend, this sounds an awful lot like genocide. No,
No, it isn't.
because it's random and really efficient. And then even better, Nebby like, oh, Dad. Like she's embarrassing.
And then the pursuer is sort of like, so, I mean, I wouldn't put a label on it, like I said, but I guess we could say
if
best
you had
friend.
to, like best friends, but we don't like to put labels on it. What's the other thing? So, oh, jump points are great. I mean, they make your face go real squishy, but they're really good fun.
And then they move on to the final bit with them sitting at the table. And it's like, you know, I'm not quite sure on the story of how T'Challa came to be with you. And Yondu's like,
yeah, I love the cough.
okay, well,
So I was doing a job. And then I love that T'Challa kind of steps in. He's like, no, I was lost.
Yeah.
And he saved me.
Yeah.
And it is kind of, just before this, before they go back to Earth, T'Challa does say to Yondu, like, Yondu says, you know, I'm sorry for taking you. And he goes, no, I told you I wanted to see the world, and all you did was show me the universe. And it's like, damn, that's really cool. And so as kind of payment, not payment, but like repaying the favor, he says, you know, I was lost, which was true. And he saved me. Not exactly the truth, but also not a lie. And it's like the tidiest way to turn something that, if you look at it through a certain lens, not good, but that ends up being okay and that ended up being good along the way. So like, this is the summary that everybody needs to know. I was lost because I was wondering where I wasn't supposed to be. True. Yondu found me and raised me. True. Yondu and we have a father-son relationship. His family. True. And he brought me back. True. Cool. That's the neatest, tidiest way.
Oh, nice.
Otherwise it gets super complicated really quick.
Yeah, it really does.
And that bit I loved. This last sort of 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I really, really, really liked.
It was really good. And the father
then it
says
ends.
that doesn't matter. Whatever matters is that you're back. You're
Yeah.
here now. And they're reunited forever. And then it cuts to a guy cleaning up like what looks like a Wendy's
It's
or
a
something
Dunkin'
like
Donuts,
that. Dunkin'
yeah.
Donuts, there we
Yeah.
go. And he's cleaning up something, mopping
Listening some 80s soundtrack on a tape player. Like, dude, it's 2012 at this point. Why listen to a tape player? Who's this loser?
up. Upgrade your shit. Alright?
Who's this loser?
Turns around and shows a face, but we're like, I don't know who that is because we don't know what an animated version of Peter Quill
That's
looks like.
I'm sorry, sir, we're closed. Oh, come on, Pete. You don't have time for your old man. And then Ego's eyes go white.
Glowing eyes. It's like, oh shit! And then the imposter voice is it imposter? The Watcher voice. Watcher voice, no imposter.
That's a little sus, bro.
Sorry, bro, you're a bit among us too much. The Watcher voice goes, and he says something.
He says, let's look at it's something along the lines of like, now let's look at another story. Unfortunately, this one might end up in the end of the world.
Too bad this might spell the end of the world. That's
Right.
what he says there.
By the way, universe, that's universe.
Because the only thing that pulled Peter back was
His mum.
his mum, and with the help of the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And without them...
Ego was going to turn the universe into himself, or just take up the whole universe. It's something weird like that.
Yeah.
I want to see
that's
a
what
what if
happened.
Ego and Galactus fought. I want to see that.
Well, it looks like something's going to happen with these guys because
hope so,
that's a
man.
story for another time.
What
He
if Peter
says.
Quill's a bad guy?
What's that?
What if we get to see them beefing out evil Quill?
I think they might.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. And that's the end of the episode, guys. Oh man, it was
good
alright for
fun.
me. I liked a lot of it. I do agree with what you said about the overarching like character progression was just
There wasn't any.
It was
T'Challa just succeeds everything. All the
Constant.
thing is like a constant pat on the back to T'Challa about all the great things he's done. And I don't know what else you would have done. Like I love the fact that I just get to be a guy that complains about it on the internet.
Yeah.
Because if I was looking at this going, okay, we got Chadwick Boseman to voice this thing. He passed away a couple of years ago. Everyone unanimously loves him. And his Black Panther, there isn't a bad word to be said about the guy. Do we really want to make this guy suck at anything?
Yeah.
Like, I just like being the guy that gets to complain. I don't want to have to fix that problem. But there are things that were brilliant about this. Like I said, that little family gathering at the end, perfect. Everything with Korath, perfect. Like, classic Starlord.
Classic
so
Starlord
good.
there.
So good. It just bugs me because Chadwick did play such an incredible T'Challa, and that T'Challa failed plenty of times and overcame them. He had a mountain to climb, and he did. And that's what makes a hero. Heroes don't just win; they face adversity and overcome it.
Yeah.
And that's what bugs me about it, because I do love Chadwick Boseman and the Black Panther so much. That's all. I'm gonna just be repeating myself.
It was probably a question. They were like, "This is probably gonna be one of the last times we ever show T'Challa."
Yeah. Also, what a great send-off, by the way, which is ultimately the most important thing.
They probably didn't think that because they got his voice for it. So that it was probably done before.
When was the audio done for this?
Unless they said to him, it's like, all right, look, I've got really bad cancer. So
no, he didn't tell anyone, though. It was a big surprise, wasn't it?
He must have told his bosses, right?
Nah, why?
That's really unprofessional.
It was a big
Not
surprise.
to speak ill of the dead, but that's really unprofessional.
It was a big surprise to everybody. Like,
it was to everybody, but they could have kept quiet.
Yeah, but maybe when it was like, you have 3 months. And he was like, I'm not going to be back for Black Panther 2.
Surely they must have known at some point. Anyway, whatever. We're just splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
Talking about shit. Let's kick it over to our boys over on patreon.com/conversations.
Did you wait for me, or were you just like...
I did. I looked over to you and I was like...
Because I wasn't looking. I was enjoying my caffeinated beverage.
Beverage. Are you French?
I am.
Oh, you are?
French.
French.
How do you say I'm French in French?
You're the French one. Why are you asking me?
I'm sorry. I surrender.
There you go. You are French. Okay.
If you want your caffeinated beverage named official thing, fuck James.
Yeah.
You can come to us directly. Patreon.com. No, wait, you don't. Wherever our emails are.
Our emails are there. Okay.
Yeah,
they
come
exist,
on.
All right.
Shit.
Kick it over to Patreon from our bro Cobra SS Chris writes in. He says, "Wow, was that really only half an hour? Felt like a whole movie. Last episode was entertaining, but this is how What If is supposed to be like. A great twist to a story, amazing surprise appearances from Howard the Duck,
Howard
the Duck, and Thanos. I can't believe how much character time everyone got. Lots of great touches to like most of the actual actors being in it. Things to look out for in the background. Did you notice the Collector had Cap's shield and Mjolnir?
There's nothing in there, bro.
A Mike sword? I don't know what you're talking about. No, what you're talking about. As well
Nothing
as Korg's whole arm. No,
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Which was hollowed out. Is Korg hollow?
He might be. We don't know. He looks like he's just one made of rocks.
Imagine you're like, hey, I killed this rock dude, and I cut his arm off, and I got it. I want you to turn it into a glove for me. Who do you send that to?
Yeah. Is that like a master rocksmith?
Oh shit! You need a stonemason, innit?
Stonemason, that's what you need. And also, could you imagine
A stonemason or a vet?
So Cork, how much do you weigh? Like 2 tons? Like actually, I look a lot heavier than I'm actually hollow on the
Yeah, I'm
inside.
actually hollow.
A lean 500. Lean 500
Right,
kg.
Lean 500 kg.
He says, just blabbing, but I really enjoyed it and can't wait for more, says Chris.
Yeah.
That's really good. Thank you for writing in, bro.
I love. Why do we have pictures? Oh yeah, we were talking about.
We was
The Rock
talking
earlier.
about The Rock's abs, and I was just looking at pictures of that.
For reference, anybody that's listening to the audio or you can't see our screens, he just flipped screen and boom, there was The Rock like topless 50 times over.
To be fair, The Rock is mainly topless all the time.
It's true.
So it's just you
It's
could just
true.
say The Rock.
Hide your
and
baby
I'll be like,
oil.
cool.
Hide that big ass forehead. I'm sorry. Do you know what else? We have other comments.
Yes, we do.
And if you, for some reason on patreon.com/conversations, like, okay, whatever.
Whatevs.
Another place you can write in, which is totally free, the single greatest Discord on the internet, linked to, it's linked in the description. It's linked in the description below, the Conversations Discord, where we have some comments. Alpha Aquila says, by the way, he told me it's not a 40k reference. I thought it was, but
well, you see, he's not a loser.
a more creative episode than the last. It was great to hear Chadwick Boseman. Yes, it was. It just makes me want to see more work from him, but alas, we cannot, unless he makes a final appearance in later episodes. So Yondu comes to Earth to kidnap Quill, picks up the wrong person, and just forgets why he came to Earth. Why didn't he come back to pick up Quill?
I said that. It's like, he goes, this isn't him. Well, I guess we just keep this kid then. And then just fuck off. I was like,
because it wasn't Yondu coming to Earth. He sends his guys to come back to Earth. He's probably halfway across the galaxy. 10 months into the job, they arrive with T'Challa.
It's just too much of an effort to go back.
Right, and also, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
That was my best Michael Rooker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thanos feels like a giant joke. Yeah, I feel like Thanos was really pussified in this.
That was what I guess that's what they're trying to go for. It's like so different. It's what if.
Without Infinity Stones, he was able to like go toe to toe with the Hulk, right? He could have been their muscle. Why not?
Yeah.
But I guess this is in keeping with the Guardians. This feels like a very silly episode. Although when I saw the Collector, I wanted to see Howard the Duck. Oh, sorry. Then it's another sentence. I wanted to see Howard the Duck, and we got him. It would have been nice to hear why T'Challa is called Starlord, because this is something personal between Quill and his mother. It was good to see how the character of T'Challa set different events in motion than Quill, which is what we need to see more of, as opposed to the body switching of the first episode. Yeah, I get that. That and how different characters act differently to their counterparts in the sacred timeline due to T'Challa's effect on them being different to Quill's. The Collector is so powerful, seeing as he obtained recognizable character items, but of course we don't know the situations under which he obtained these items. The shield, Hela's helmet, was that Malekith? Yes, it was Malekith in the prison. Yep. You did see Mjolnir too, yeah. So we don't know what happened to Quill. So we don't see what happened to Quill at the end then. A bunch of people write these as they watch it.
Yes. It's interesting. I like it.
Yeah, but it just sort of messes. Reading is hard enough for us too.
And then it's reading a consciousness stream.
Another okay episode, but made better with the voice acting of Chadwick Boseman and others, and more creative events. I want to see the storytelling get more wild. Hopefully, the zombie episode could deliver that. Yeah, I agree. I actually would prefer for these to go a little bit crazy rather than like the whole what if Carter was Captain America. It's still basically the same. Right
now, they're banking on, this character that you know, but in a different place. And it's like, get a bit more creative, guys. Get more creative. As well, having said that, though, I am enjoying myself watching all this.
I'm having an okay time. Yeah. I want to see what if they made a Fantastic Four movie that didn't suck.
I mean, sure, it'd be tough.
Kicks off World War III. It's the worst timeline.
It's not part of the sacred timeline, so it's not going to happen.
That's right.
Guys. What if Abba writes in, so reference
frickin'
to
Diogo.
And he says, that was so much better than last week. It wasn't as rushed as last week, as they sped past the initial stages of the change. So seeing this new story with the Ravagers was just what I wanted from the show. T'Challa actually causing change in the universe felt very touching too, especially with having Thanos, of all people, on your team. Also, Chad Collector, and he's got my face a couple times. Like, but Rip Quill, rest in peace, Quill, and maybe the universe. I hope that we get to see, I hope that with how these 2 episodes have left on cliffhangers, that we possibly see the return of these stories, how these stories play out. I mean, it's also possible that we get a season 2 of this. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they couldn't.
I could definitely see with these being left on cliffhangers that they come back around and we would get like, sort of the new Avengers, the what if Avengers assemble to defeat evil Quill and Ego or something like that. I think that would be cool. I totally agree, by the way. The pacing of this one was way better. Way better. Physicist 56 says, I love the opening scene. The fact that Korath, why has he got kind of cyborg guy in?
Kind of cyborg guy?
Is that a thing?
I think he's trying to tell us because we don't usually know names.
We actually do know this one.
For some reason.
Yeah. Is a fan of Starlord, is awesome, and Yondu's entrance is so badass. The club scene is almost my favorite. It's almost my favorite. It's just everything. Thanos is a good guy. Drax is a bartender, and his wife and child are still alive. Nebula has hair. Which, by the way, would mean that T'Challa talked Thanos out of this when he was like 14.
Yeah, because she grew all that hair.
The Black Order it was called, not the Black Guard.
There we go.
The Black Order is the collected security. Even the things in his collection are from
Ghost of Tsushima.
I don't know what that's. Yeah, I don't know what that last year is. It's from Ghost of Tsushima. The Dark Elf, the Dog, Howard the Duck. Also
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
It was so dumb.
Ghost of Tsushima's Galaxies. Got
That's
it.
Ghost of Tsushima's Galaxy. That's what GOTG stands for, guys.
Also, the collector's weapons from the Avengers. How does he hold John? I forgot it's called Jonathan. How does he hold Jonathan? Yeah, come at me with your Mew Mew. Mew Mew. It's with Jonathan. The ending was the best. Ravagers in Wakanda. Peter Quill working in the same Dairy Queen with the world-ending thing behind it from Ghost of Tsushima Galaxies 2.
Yep.
A small tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, so that's something we didn't mention. Just before the credits, it goes black screen and it says, in dedication and honor to our friend Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. Which, first of all, I love the final scenes with like Yondu saying like, "Keep your hands off my kid," and then the like, "Let me introduce you to the family I made along the way," and that kind of family element. Of even the stuff with like, I feel like Thanos had a pretty decent. It's kind of silly and extreme, but like the redemption arc of like. The redemptionist people make fun of the plan, and he's like, no, like the plan was okay, it was just maybe a little bit misguided, but it was really efficient, like there was a lot of redemption-y stuff there, and then like, goodbye to our friend was really touching and lovely, and I love to see it. Bear with me one sec. Overall, best episode yet, and I don't think anything will come near it. Best episode yet, I totally agree. Top 50% for sure.
I was gonna say, if I was to rank them, this one and then the other one. There we go. I've broken him. Oh, God.
This one and then the
other one. There you go.
Oh my days.
Guys, thank you for tuning in for another legendary episode of Streamcast. We love doing this shit for you guys every week. Tune in next week for the next episode of What If, the review. And feel free to write in like all the guys have just here. It's really awesome to hear from you guys.
Please do.
If you want to catch more stuff of us, you can search for the True Gamer Podcast on YouTube or Conversations.
Do we link to our channel in the description? We should do that.
Okay, as well, isn't it? You guys can check it out there. We do all kinds of other podcasts.
Yeah, because you can't search for Conversations on YouTube.
Yeah, the name is, it's kind of like we're being held down by the man, and it's only the people on the street.
I mean, we kind of like it, but still, like, it's not okay,
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Bro, thank you for joining me again for another episode here, and we'll catch you guys all in the next one. What if I don't spud you?
Mate, you let me... Wow.
Wow! I don't spud you. What happens then?
You're about to find out. I quit. Cut.